Hello, Assalamu alaikum. Mama Habiba here with a few thoughts for today. You know, people say, you often hear, listen to your heart, right? Very important to listen to your heart because it is your sounding board. It is what lets you distinguish between, yes, I should go this way or not. If you're feeling uneasy in your heart, that means you need to pay attention to something. But to be able to listen to your heart, in my thinking, there's three, or at least three, major considerations. First of all, to really be able to clear out and have a clear connection with your own heart. First of all, because if you're trying to see through to the garden in this part of an old wardrobe blocking the way, and a few storage boxes, a stack of papers, and two or three unfinished canvases, that means that you don't have a clear view, and you need to be able to finish with those things first. What I mean by this is, everyone has an accumulation of experiences in their life that we may or may not have put behind us. Some things are left as unfinished business. Some things from perhaps even early childhood are held there with the understanding or misunderstanding of a young child or of an adolescent. Some things that are painful, or some things that brought grief to us, or guilt or misunderstanding, we tend to keep them and carry them with us, and even carry them in the form of pain in our body. And until we can deal with those things, we cannot move forward. I would suggest, to deal with past things, that you have to really look at them face to face and say, this happened. I will not attribute any blame or guilt for that. In fact, I will forgive everyone that was involved in that painful or sorrowful period of my life, and let it go. One technique that I find very helpful is to actually sit down with a pen and paper and write out the events that are perhaps sticking points for you, and then acknowledge and say, yes, this is indeed what happened. I see, I know, I acknowledge, I accept, and now I'm going to throw it away. Throw that paper away, bury it, burn it, whatever you want. But let it go. And that is a way of clearing your heart space, allowing you to move forward much more easily. Second thing that influences our heart is filters. Just as you can apply a filter to a photo that you're going to put on Instagram, whatever. Filters are things that we apply to our understanding, our perception of things, right? So they can be societal filters, family filters, educational filters, ways of seeing the world that may or may not be exactly right. They're perspectives that you have adopted as you grow up without really critically thinking about them, perhaps. And those are things maybe it's time to think about. Is my acquired belief on X, Y, and Z actually, for me, the way that it should be? Do I need to go back and reconsider my thoughts and my belief patterns and my understandings of things that I've always kind of taken for granted? Take a look at that. And third, there's always a continuous influence on our hearts, because, like, what is the heart, in fact? What does the heart want? The heart has a longing in it. is a longing to return to somewhere, to our real home, the place that we came from. And I really think that a lot of the problems, the depressions, the psychological states that people get into is due to a lack of addressing this fundamental wish of the heart to reconnect with something that is beyond us, something that is bigger than us, something that we know is there and that we haven't really properly addressed because of background, of societal filters, of many different things. So the heart has work to do, and that is our life's work, to see where our heart path takes us. So the third thing that's influencing our heart and our ability to move forward into a more spiritual seeking state, the third thing is outside influences that can be counterproductive to a spiritual search and that are intentionally being directed at the person who wishes to seek the light. Call it what you will, call it evil, call it shaitan, call it lower forces. But once that you do decide to step forward and start to try to understand your heart and fill it with something other than material worldly things, then those forces do come into play. And we'll try and say, nah, don't go there. Don't waste your time. Come back, come back. In fact, all of society is calling us to material things, to intrigues, to political, social, busy making things, right? So be aware of that also. And give yourself time every day to step back from all of that and do a heart checkup and say, how am I doing there? How am I doing and where can I go from here? So just those thoughts about the state of our hearts, and I hope that you are able to listen more and more to your hearts, because that's where the truth eventually resides. Wishing you a very good day. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.